Alrighty, so it's the next day, and we're ready to rock and roll and finish this thing up. I'm going to get in just a little bit here when we do this. Maybe a little bit farther back. There you go. So we had made sure that the motor was in there well, and it doesn't rock, it doesn't do anything, it's not falling out. And notice that there's no pins in there because we put that RTV in there. We're ready to go ahead and add the gears. We started last night, didn't quite finish it up. I want to do this in real time. I know it's going to take some time, but we need to do it in real time. I'm going to do this other one first. What do they do with it? Here it is. Okay, so this gear on this side, it's got little pins that go into the universal. So we're going to rotate that to get that in there. This is kind of in your way, it's not in my way. And we're gonna rotate these little sleeve bearings so that they're straight up and down, and they should drop in. Again, this is kind of tedious, but I want you to see how long it takes to do these kind of things. All right, and there you go. Now it's dropped in, right? It's dropped in, and we're ready to put the cap on it. Now here's the cap. But before I do that, I'm going to put just a drop of lube on this. Again, while you're in here, you might as well lubricate. And I'm looking for a toothpick here. You might as well lubricate. You got it open. You take all this stuff apart, and put a little drop of lube on it. Now put the good stuff on there. Don't put crap on there. We use the gel gear lubricant from Athearn. You can tell how old this is by the label. So put that on there, and then go ahead and add the cap. Now this cap is ambidextrous. It doesn't matter which way you put it on there. Okay, so there you go. And now that's on there solid. We're ready to go with that side. We need to put a little bit of gear, just a tad right now. You don't have to get a lot of stuff on here. Put a little bit of gear grease here in the universal joint here and maybe here, right? Rotate it a little bit. Do the same thing over here, right? We're not quite down on this one. You can't see this because the light thing is over the top. And actually the light thing is kind of, well, it's not in our way, but it will help us later on. So I'm going to leave that in there, but I'm going to tip it up a little bit so you can see. This is not the preferred way to do this. Usually I just get my head down there, and I'm just going to rotate those square sleeve bearings. Again, hopefully you can't really see this. I know you can't. I'm sorry. I'll rotate this other sleeve bearing until it goes in. You saw it on the other side. All right, now I need to put the cap on there. Let's see, what did I do with the cap? Oh, there it is. It was hidden underneath the shell there. So there's the cap. Put again a little bit of lubricant on the gear, and you can't see this, it's up inside there. Put that on the gear like that. All right, now I'm going to put this cap on there, but I have to kind of lay it up inside of there like this, and then try to snap it on. Ah, did you hear it? Yeah, it went snap. Perfect. Okay, now before I get too much farther, right, lubricate the end bearings of the motor. So that would be here, okay, here. These are sleeve bearings too. And while I'm in here, right, do this. End bearing cap here. This is important. This is the one that usually has problems here and here. And again, you can't hardly see that, but we're going to tip it up there so you can see it. All right, there we go. Looking in the thing here to make sure I'm doing what I'm telling you I'm doing. All right, there you go. Now what? Well, got motor leads are connected. I got one set of leads coming from the trucks, right? And they are free. Want to make sure they're free, right? And they don't bind, they don't get into the running gear. The other set of leads are these two, and they are red. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to need to find some red wire. Oh, look, I've got plenty of it. It's right here. Okay, so as part of this, I can do that. Oh, just excuse me, I've got a telephone call coming in. Alrighty then, we're back after a telephone call. So again, we're looking at real time here. So I got to put a platform here somehow. I've got to put lights in it too. I've got to put the red wire in. I need to put the platform in now. We need to take a look at where this is going to go. It's going to go this way, like this. And I'm thinking right there is where I want it, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it up. Somehow. What's going on here? How come it's not plugging up? Oh, we got a little piece of, that's strange, right? Got a little piece of blue plastic here that's kind of keeping it from plugging up. Yeah, see, this is part of model railroading, yeah. All right. There we go. Interesting. Make sure that it's all the way in. See, that's not quite all the way in. Boy, that's tough. All right, now we got this baby sitting there, and we need to figure out a way so it doesn't touch the flywheel. Wow. Okay, now I can do this. If I can figure out a way to get this like that, that'll work. See that? That'll work like that. But my concern is that it's going to touch the flywheel, all right, when I put the top on. I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to use the wires now, right, as the holder. We've got something else going on back here. Don't look. All right, we're going to go ahead and put something on there. So, oh, Captain tape. All right, so we're going to use some Captain tape here. You see how I use this penny? This is kind of just one of those things. I move the penny down, right, so I know where it is. Because the penny sticks to it. It's again, that's one of the things about Captain tape is that it's supposed to stick to metal, right? That's its claim to fame. Another reason why we have it. So I'm going to wrap that like that, right? I'm going to wrap that like that and let it stick to the sides of the motor. Don't interfere with the motor now. Right? And then it'll stick to the sides like that. And guess what? Huh? Pretty good. All right, now we're cooking. All right, we've got gray wire here coming in. Looks like it's going to interfere. We need to get that taped back here. All right, it's another piece. The orange wire looks like it's in pretty good shape. We got some other wires sticking out here we're not going to use. All right. This is a 126. 126 is that there's only two functions. That means that the green wire, so I'm going to snip the green wire here, okay, and pull it. The green wire, all right, and the purple wire are not used. You can't use them because there's no functions there. So we're going to pull those two wires. It's in every harness, but you can't use them, okay? Now, if it was a 166, you could, or a 146, you could, because it would have the 4 or 6 functions, and they would be extra functions. I got some trash here. So I got this and this. Dare I pull this up? I did that so well. Dare I pull this up and put the gray wire underneath it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to put the gray wire underneath there and then lock it down again. All right. I don't know if you saw that or not. But because I need the gray wire out of the running gear. And when I'm talking about running gear now, I'm talking about anything that moves here, right? Anything that moves, all of this, all the way along here is the running gear, all right? All right, now, okay, black, red. So now we're talking about the red wire, and we got it coming out here. This is nice, all right? Comes out here like this. And what we want turn it around here so we can all see, right? What we want is we want this red wire to do this. We want it to come out straight, and we want it to go down like this, right? So that as it goes back and forth, you're flexing this way. So I talked about this on other videos. So it's flexing, all right? So that's really where I want it. I'm going to cut it right there. I'm going to cut it right like that, okay? And we're going to use this other red wire, right, to go from here to here, okay? Go across here. So we're going to use it in both sides. And we're going to fish it through, we got a spot here now underneath the Captain tape where we can fish this wire through like this. This is new. I haven't really done it like this before. But again, you know, as you do these things, you learn, right? You should be learning about how all this works. Okay, now we're going to take these two. Soldering iron is hot. I started the soldering iron when I sat down this morning. So it's hot. Trying to keep my hair out of the camera. I'll go back and edit this and see that I got my hair in the camera. Okay, 26 gauge, 24 gauge. This is see what happens if you get it too close and you don't strip it. You cut it. All right, there we go. All right, so I got both of these stripped. I'm getting my soldering iron, and I'm using my cleaner, my tip cleaner with rosin in it, like this, right? So if you hear me doing this, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting rosin. You can see the smoke coming off of that. If you don't have a tip cleaner, you need to get one for your soldering iron. And then you can get them at the Trade Buddy shop. Look, you can even order one. If you want to order online, you can do that. I keep a stock of them. You can get them elsewhere. You don't have to get them from me. Just saying. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, I'm going to turn this around because I can do it better if I turn it around. All right, and I'm going to actually put something underneath it, prop it up a little bit. See if we can, something different screwdriver. Ow, I just burnt myself. That was not good. Okay, messing around here. There we go. It's your fault. It's your fault. I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't trying to make it so that you could see this. Okay, now we're going to go down here and we're going to put a little dab. Oh, I got to turn the temperature up again. Right, got to turn the temperature up. I'm turning it up to 750. We're going to wait a half second for the iron to come up to speed. It did already. That was pretty good. And we're going to put a dot of solder right here on the lug, right, coming out of. Notice it's not doing anything. Now we're getting some smoke. That's good, right? Now it's up to heat. We don't want to heat it too much. We just want enough heat so that we get a dot of solder on there that's going to stay there. All right, now I'm going to pull this one back and pull this one back, right? I'm going to put these two together, right? Kind of twist them together. Put the soldering iron down so you don't burn yourself, Parker. I talk to myself sometimes. All right, and we're going to twist these two together because I want to solder both of these at the same time, all right? And now we want them to come out and down like this, right? So I'm going to have something to hold it because I can't hold it. Well, I could hold it with my hand, but you know, I've already burnt myself. Because I want it to be just like this. Mechanically, I want it to be just like that. So I'm going to get this out here. I don't want them to come out at an angle. I want them to go straight down. All right. Trying to hold this up where you can see it. Well, where I can see it too. All right, this is difficult because I'm using two hands. Again, I'm doing this in real time. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even show this to you. I would just say, yeah, I'm going to attach these. But I want you to see how long it takes to do something like this and what you got to go through. All right, I'm trying to hold it as steady as possible. You want it to be right so that it doesn't come out, right? And you want it to be down like this at an angle, right, like this, so that as this goes back and forth, and you can see this here, right, as it goes back and forth, you have a minimum amount of flex on the wire. The minimum amount of flex on the wire. Okay, now we're ready. We're going to go back here, right, with the other end of the red. Okay, and we're going to kind of move the decoder out of the way. Can you still see that? Yeah, there you go. Put some underneath there, just to keep it from rolling down where you can't see it. All right, and now I've got this other red one. I want it to come out and down like this, right? So I got too much wire. And some people will say, well, you need more wire, just leave it down. No. Don't have lots of extra wire hanging around inside of your engine that you don't need. Not a good thing. You'll end up having to take it out anyhow. Later on, you'll have to take it out. Okay? So don't do that. I'm trying to get something here that's going to hold this. It's your fault now, because you wanted to see this. All right, now we're ready. I'm going to clean my tip. Make sure I get some starting rosin on there a little bit. Right. Now we're ready. And again, we're at high temperature already, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm avoiding the decoder with the soldering iron now, and I'm just going to try to put it on the metal. Right. 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000. 7, 1000, 8, 1000, 9, 1000, 10, 1000. I always say I count. I don't, maybe I count to myself, but you just see there where, after 5 seconds, in most situations, after 5 seconds, you should be able to, it should be hot enough to pool the solder. If it's not melting and if it's not pooling at 5 seconds, take it off. Not hot enough. That's usually the problem. It's not clean enough. There's no rosin, right? Whatever the reason is, you're doing nothing except just adding heat to the work surface. And that's not good. All right, so now we're going to see, and look, see, this is not working here. All right, why is it not working? Because there's no rosin. I'm going to go back into the tip cleaner, push it down, right? Now there's smoking, right? Now there's rosin, okay? Put it on there. Put it on there, right? 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000. It's still not doing anything, all right? Well, add just a little bit more solder, right? Just a little bit more solder to it, right? Like that, right? Now again, I got to hold it, right? While I'm doing this, because, oh, see, it's not in there. Holding it down, right? Pushing gently down on it, right? The wire is spreading there, but that's not a problem, right? That's actually good. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. All right, nice and tight. Okay, that's what we want. That's what we want, just right there. Perfect. Okay, now, interestingly enough, I'm already set up. I've got the motor, right? Except, well, I don't have the black hooked up. Okay, I gotta hook the black up. Now, in this case, I did this a little bit differently, right? I hooked these directly to the wheel. And I've got the black wire here, right? Got the black wire here. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the black wire in with the two reds. And so this is the way I would typically do this. I'm going to put this underneath, put the orange underneath. Typically what I would do is I would pull this up this way, again at an angle, right? Going down like this. And I would take the black wire that's coming from the decoder. Now, what I'm going to do here, I think, is I'm going to flip it around this way, because there's not enough room here to solder this. I'm going to flip it around this way. I'm going to put a little loop in it, and I may even catch the orange wire there just to make sure that it's up out of the way. All right, still got my loop, still got all that in there. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to bring this wire up, and it's coming up at an angle like this. And the three wires now, get this at a nice angle here, right, like that. Okay, get this one at a nice angle here, like that. Okay, bringing this one in from the top. Those three black wires now I'm going to put together right here. But what I want to do is I'm going to cut the excess, cutting the excess from my left. Okay, cutting the excess from my right. Okay, and we get two wires there. All right, now I've got all three wires, so I got two coming here and one here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and strip these two This is another joining technique. Right. Strip these two, and this one was like 22 or something. This was a heavier wire. Yeah, this is a lighter wire. Doesn't matter too much, especially in here. You just don't want to get really heavy wire in here. I mean, 22 is pretty heavy as it is. All right, you could use a lighter wire. Don't get too light. So anywhere between, I would say 26 and 22 is appropriate here. I'm going to go ahead and tin all of those. Right, we don't need the soldering iron that hot. I'm going to pull it back down to about 550. Yeah, we're changing temperature here as we go. Right, about 550. I'm tinning that wire, tinning this wire. Notice it's still hotter because of where I was. So I did the heavier wires first, do this little light wire like this. Okay, now we're going to take these two and we're going to put them together. Again, I would not show this at all. This is kind of boring, but I want you to see it in real time, what it takes to do one of these engines. All right. I'm going to go ahead and solder those two together. And I'm talking while working because I don't want to stop working here. I want to continue on doing this. Now, we're going to bring these two together like this. And notice again, I've got this nice hook here. Right? We want to keep it out of the running gear. Right? Nice hook. Bring it up over here. Bring this one up over here. And I want to join these two right there. But how I'm going to join them is with, yep, I'm going to use heat shrink. If you don't have heat shrink, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is just part of the job. You really need to have heat shrink. I'm looking for 1/16. I've got a big roll of it up here, but the roll has kind of escaped me for the moment. It's, the end piece is in the box. Let me see if I can find the end. Yeah. I'm sorry as I can be. Here we go. Because I just need just a little piece of it, right? All right. I got a mess now, but I'll fix it later. Okay, so I'm going to get a little piece of this 16th inch. I know you can't see any of this, but there you go. All right, so this is a 16th inch thin wall heat shrink, and this is flame retardant, very flexible, low shrink temperature, high. It's a dry application for insulation and strain relief. This comes from Raychem. So this is a special type of shrink tube. I don't need that much. I'm going to cut it back. You don't want to have more than you need. I'm going to put a little dab of it in the tray there so I can get to it later if I need it. All right, and we got extra wires hanging around that we don't need, all kinds of trash. Okay, but we allow that while we're working and clean up later. So I'm going to put the shrink tube back on this one here, right? I'm going to bring these two pieces together out there where we can see them, right? And we're going to solder those two together. Just take a second, put some solder on the iron, bring these two up. I can actually hold this in my hand, right? Notice my arms are on the, well, you can't see it. My arms are on the table so that this is super stable. I hear guys saying, well, I'm too old to do this. Look, I'm 71 years old here, okay? All right, now, let's pull that together. I've got those problems too. I just don't do it up here, because if I do it up here, it does like this, all right? I'm taking time away, all right? Now, take the shrink tube, right? Pull it over it, just like that, right? Use a heat gun. Don't put the heat on the, what's going on here? Okay. Don't put the heat on the decoder. No. Don't put the heat on the engine. No. Aim it away from all of that. Right? You're just trying to shrink the tube. You can do that. It's not that big of a deal, right? Well, I wish you could get these, but you can't get them anymore. Well, I haven't tried to get them anymore, but I got it when I was traveling. I'm not traveling anymore. All right. So here's the dilemma now, is that we got to keep that down, and we got to keep it out of the flywheels and out of the running gear. So I need to cinch that down, and I've already done this once. I'm going to do it again, right? I'm going to pull the captain tape up, right? I got the gray wire, and now I want to attach the black wire with that. underneath the Kapton tape. I want to capture that underneath the Kapton tape. Ordinarily, if I had the metal strap that's on top, I would cinch these up to the metal strap. But the metal strap is gone on this particular model. For whatever reason, the last person in here who rewired it, I guess it was what it looked like, I took the metal strap off. It may very well be that the metal strap was the problem, and so that's the reason why they took it off. They may have thought that they were increasing the reliability, which they probably did, of this engine. Now, I've got a whole bunch of stuff hanging up here. I'm gonna hope that it doesn't get into the flywheel. You see, I've got it short of that. Same way over here with the decoder. And these are the wires that we need now for the lights. So these are lighting wires. I could wrap this with something here. I could put a wrap around that to hold it up. I've seen people use ties, zip ties, and I've got some zip ties. I got some tiny zip ties around here somewhere, and if I find those, we'll use those. But for the most part, it's going to stay up away from that, and I don't care. All right. Light bulbs. Well, before I do that, I want to test this out and see what we're doing, because we really actually should be ready to go. So let's move over here. I'm going to take you off the stand here, okay? And we're going to take this engine over to our test bench. Take it over to our test bench, right? And put it up on the. Take it and put it up on the track, on the test track. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to test to see whether or not it's talking. So we take our throttle. We go. The system has been on. I turned it on this morning when I first walked in, right? And we want to hit program, and we want to see PG. Now this is the old throttle, 402D, but the new ones work the same way. And we're going to hit display, right? We've got add to up there, and it says, oh, no ACK. No ACK. I wonder why it's no ACK. What did I do? Let's try it again. Display. No ACK. That's not good. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why you do this. Oh, well, it would help if it was on the track. There you go. Sometimes it's just dirty track. Let's try it again. Here we go. Display. No ACK. Crap! What did I do wrong? Okay, let's try this. All right, try it again. No ACK. All right, I gotta quit. I'm gonna do some tests and then we'll come back. All right, so, wow. All right, I don't know what to say. Usually that works pretty good, but again, this is what's happens. Okay, so now I did a couple things that are ordinarily, well, I don't do it because I'm that good, I guess. I don't know. So I'm going to use a meter. Hopefully you can hear the beep. All right, we're going to just do some continuity checks. We're going to first of all check the wiring here, all right? Make sure that we got connectivity between these two, all right? Make sure we don't have any shorts, right? Make sure we got connectivity between these two. We do, right? We come up and we're looking for connectivity between a wheel, right? And now I've enclosed the black wire, so I can't even do that, right? Let's do the red wire, at least from the wheel to the top here. Okay, we've got connectivity there. We should have connectivity across there. We do. Okay. So we're thinking we've got connectivity, power, we've got power up through that. We can't really measure again because we've taped that up already. We want to see if the motor runs. Shoot. I was thinking it didn't have power from the track. this is difficult to do because we've got a decoder already attached. It would be nice if we had some other method to do that. Oh, I know. We can put a jumper harness in here. So hold on. All right. So here's another way to handle this. Right. I hate to do this because this was so hard to get in there. And notice I'm not putting any pressure on the wires, or trying not to anyhow. You should be able to hold all the wires, right? Hold them all, right? And again, I got 2 wires that I don't have a hold of now. Darn, this is going to be difficult. Oh boy. Let's see if I can pry the ends. Get it started here. I got that one started, right? See if I can get this one started. There you go. Okay, now that I got the 2 ends pried apart, I can pull it off. There you go. Now, another way to do this is to put a, if you're like me, you've got tons of these, right? These are shorting plugs that came from another engine. I've got different kinds of these, right? They all do pretty much the same thing, and it's the same as the 9-pin plugs, or the 8-pin connectors that are used as shorting pins. All they do is they really short the track to the decoder, the track to the pickups, right? So when you do this, so you put a shorting plug on there. Now this, you can test your wiring that goes from, put all that back, you can test your wiring on DC to see whether or not the motor's functioning. And you might say, I don't ever see anybody do that. That's right. That's right. That's right. You're talking to the train buddy here now. Train buddy knows what he's doing. All right, now let's put this on the track with the shorting plug, right? And I'm going to run it on DC. I got a DC power supply hooked up here. You see the wires coming in, right? Got a DC power supply, and we're going to throw some. Oh, look. Okay, so right. So we know the motor works. We know all the wiring is correct, right? So this has taught us something, right? Now, what if we put a known, right? We can suspect now maybe the decoder is bad. Maybe the decoder is bad. And so what we might want to do is find the good decoder. So we've got one here as a test decoder that's good. I'm looking for it. Again, we're doing this in real time. I know this is boring. Turning around looking for it. I don't see it. Push comes to shove, we can test this decoder on a decoder tester. So doing each one separately. So here we're doing this one. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this decoder back in. Don't know what we did wrong. Brand new decoder. All right. Put it back on the track. Let's test this again. Here we go. Put it back on the track. Like this. Okay, and we're going to go back up here. I'm going to say add to, right? PG add to display. No act. Still no act. System's on. Everything else is going on. I may take this transformer. I got a transformer sitting on here that maybe creating problems for me. I'm hoping it isn't, but we're going to move it anyhow. All right, let's try this again. Display. Oh, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna try to run this on 03. All right, so we're gonna exit out of this. Exit. I'm trying to do this while I'm watching through the, rather than do it my usual way. Plus, we're gonna turn the track on here. Turn track power on. All right. We're gonna select now. We're gonna select 3 here as our on. Select loco, right? 3, okay, over here, and loco, right? That turns it on. And then we're going to go ahead and turn power on here, right? And we're going to see if it runs now. There we go. Now we got everything. Okay, so now we've done that test. We're ready for lights.